Hi, this is The Humans We Are with Carola, episode number 2. Welcome back. Today we're talking about breaking negative thought loops. I'm super excited about this topic because this is one of the things that I coach clients very frequently on. So what does that look like? Let me share with you one example of one client that I coached recently. And for that matter, I've changed many of the details, and this could be really like any client because this shows up so often for most people that I coach. So this particular client, she told me that she had found herself caught up in a negative thought loop over the weekend. And she told me how her brain started fixating on things that were wrong and how things were going wrong for her in all areas of her life, at work, in her personal life, like everything was going wrong. And the more she focused on how wrong things were, the deeper her brain went into catastrophizing and even finding more and more things that were wrong and more evidence that this was absolutely true and like this was her reality. And of course, the more she focused on those thoughts and the more she perseverated on that topic and reviewing all areas and finding things that were wrong, the worse she felt, of course. And I asked her if she thought it was really her thinking the thoughts. So I said, was it really you thinking those thoughts? And she said, well, it felt like that. And she was a little bit confused by the question. And she said, it was definitely my voice. So I think, yes, that was really me. And she also said that she felt a lot of shame about having those thoughts because, like, we all intellectually at least know that we, quote unquote, shouldn't have negative thoughts about ourselves. Like, we've heard that often enough, and we understand that intellectually at least it's not beneficial to think negative thoughts about ourselves. Yet she noticed her brain going into those negative loops, and then she judged herself for that. So that created a ton of shame on top of all the other unpleasant emotions that were a product of those negative thought loops to begin with. So what I offered was, I said, you were not born with those thoughts. You didn't come out of the factory with those thoughts in your mind. You innocently and unintentionally adopted them. You believed them. You heard them from a caregiver, at school, at church. You drew conclusions from what was going on in your environment while you were growing up, and those thoughts and beliefs just made their way into your subconscious without your explicit consent. You were too young to filter. You were not mature enough to even question those thoughts and those beliefs. So you can't blame yourself for having them. You very innocently and very unintentionally adopted them and integrated them and practiced repeating them in your mind so much that your brain automated them, and now they sound like your own voice. But that's not you. You just internalize them. that is the reason that they sound like you. And it's not the real you. You need to remind yourself that if you were able to choose whether or not you want to believe these sentences, you would never consciously choose them. That's not the real you. Those thoughts are not yours. You can't really take credit for them. And for all that's holy, please don't blame or shame yourself for having them. You would never choose them consciously now. The only reason that you now call them yours is because they made their way into your brain at a time when you didn't have the ability, the maturity, the awareness to reject them, to even challenge them. So when you notice that your brain pushed play on those unconscious programming, remind yourself that that can't possibly be you. You would never intentionally choose those negative thoughts for yourself. Try to find compassion for that younger version of you that couldn't push back, that couldn't resist because she wasn't mature enough yet. But you, my friend, the one that you are now, you can challenge them. Now you're safe to do so. You are here, you're safe, and you can challenge and rewire that programming. If you need any help at all, please reach out to someone in your life that you trust, or you can reach out to me. But please remind yourself that you were too young to be able to know what was in your best interest. And to be fair, it might have been in your best interest when you adopted these thoughts and beliefs to have them. And they may have served you well in the sense that they allowed you to survive and to become the person that you are now. But you may have heard the phrase, what got you here won't get you there. And it may very well that these thoughts and beliefs have served their purpose and you are ready now to move on and to adopt new ones that you can intentionally choose. So give yourself permission to challenge those beliefs. Even if they sound like you, they are not yours. Let yourself be guided by how you feel when you think them. If you don't feel positively about yourself when you think them, that's a very good sign that you are ready to move on and to rewire those. That's all I have to share with you for now. So I will be back next week. In the meantime, please enjoy, and if you like what you are hearing here, please subscribe and share with someone that you love that might benefit. Help me spread the love and support each other. And until next time, please enjoy. Bye.